Welcome back, True Seeker. Friday, May 8th, 2026, the 1 year anniversary of Pope Leo becoming the first American Pope. What I want to talk about is based on a tip I got from young Sebastian, who goes by the name Spamwave these days. He was searching on X and found this account, Soothsayer, or a future teller, who put up 4 posts all within 1 week, 3 of the 4 posts all from the same day, just days before Elon Musk's birthday. And this was in the year that Elon Musk was taking over Twitter and renaming it X. Remember that news broke right around the Oklahoma City bombing anniversary, because the news broke while I was in OKC. Of course, we were speaking out in front of the memorial about what really went down there at that time. But yeah, notice this. One of these posts, they only did 4 posts, and again, 3 on June 10th, 2022. And then the fourth and final post on June 17th. And 617, interesting, it's the Boston area code, but Soothsayer on June 10th wrote, 2023 Corona ended, as in the virus, 2026 Hantavirus. And what's interesting about this is the post was 18 days before Elon Musk's June 28th birthday. Counts following 18 people. But look at this, how this lines up. From June 10th, 2022 to the outbreak on the MV Hondias on April 6th was 199 weeks and days later. And 199 weeks is the 46th prime, like the outbreak began on 4/6. And if you're not up on what we've been covering with the outbreak, it seems to be very much connected to the pandemic declaration of May 20th, 2025. And let me scroll down here. Where do we put this at? From May 20th, 2025, the day the World Health Organization, again, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Johns Hopkins, participating CDCs, from the day they came up with this pandemic agreement to this outbreak on 4/6 was precisely 46 weeks later. And virus equates to 46, as does MV Hondias. If you're new here, this is the practice of coding numbers into words. You can see there's 4 base ciphers. They're the alphabetic order, the reverse alphabetic order, and both orders with numerology applied. And can you guess what Soothsayer equals? Soothsayer. 46, right? 46. And consider that Elon has that 46 connection. And MV Hondias, the name of the ship, has that 46 connection. So I did a video already on everything that's very curious about this outbreak and how it happened 26 days after the anniversary of the pandemic being declared in 2020. March 11th, from March 11th to April 6th is 26 days later. And you can see virus has that 26 connection as well. So what this speaks to is what we've been saying for a long time, that these rituals that we're living out, which become the news, they are planned long in advance. And there are people that know this, because they are the people who are involved in planning and executing the plan and duping the public into going along with the lie, which serves an agenda, which, again, look what happens with every major agenda, if you will, pulled off on the world stage in the time of Cooties 19. Did Elon Musk become a lot wealthier? Yeah, him and pretty much every other billionaire became a lot wealthier while the rest of the world became a lot poorer. So is it possible that a relatively small group of people who have immense power in this world because they control media and politicians, is it possible that they could be planning the course of humanity and then steering humanity astray or into traps, if you will? and now leaving clues along the way, like a big FU Soothsayer reads the future because the future has been planned and scripted. And I was looking at the symbols up here, right? They have a anchor, which reminds you of a boat, because we have this Hantavirus story breaking on a cruise ship. We're out at sea like pirates, pirates who steal from others. Again, this land's under maritime law, the land of the sea. You could say it was settled by a bunch of pirates. They sailed across the Atlantic and came over and killed the people who lived here, started a new nation. A nation always at war. It always needs more and more tax revenue from the people it governs over. And then you got the star of Venus over here, and Venus rules over Taurus and Libra. And the thing about Taurus is the pandemic declaration occurred in the time of Taurus, and we're in the time of Taurus right now. Again, it'll end on May 20th, which will be the anniversary of the pandemic declaration, which is Cannonball Day. And this Hantavirus story, it's really heating up right now in the time of Taurus. So that's interesting. And then Venus also rules over Libra, which goes from the end part of August until the end part of September, about August 23rd-ish to September 23rd. Or wait, no, I take that back. No, that's Virgo. Libra starts September 23rd and goes until about October 23rd, just before Halloween. That's when Libra is. Libra is just a little before Halloween. Usually the time of season when you're at the grocery store and over the intercom, come get your flu shots. Flu shots. We are giving out flu shots. So, yeah, something to think about there with that. And then the Eye of Horus. Well, is that all-seeing eye? I'm not sure what to say about the turn piece up. I'd have to think more about that one. But 3 of those symbols are pretty easily identified and seemingly fitting what's going on right now. As for that date, June 10th, the day of the post, notice the gematria of Elon Musk. Elon Musk has the 106. That date can be written 10/6. Notice Elon Musk is also 43, like Hantavirus is 43, like pandemic is 43. And what else did I see here? Yeah, I guess those are the main points about this. But remember, just days ago, we had this as well. We had the predictive programming post from December 21st, 2023, an account named Henry Martinez, who just put up the post, Cole Allen, which became the name of the shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting, which no doubt was a hoax. And from the day of that post until the supposed shooting, 857 days, which is the 148th prime, and Donald J. Trump, like he signed his name on all of his books, equals 148 and 176. And from Elon Musk's birthday to that post was 176 days. And the account name Henry Martinez equals 176. And he used Pepe the Frog, which is associated with this white nationalist movement. And of course, Elon Musk did the Nazi salute on Inauguration Day. And 8 years earlier, there was speculation that Trump was carrying around Mein Kampf, which was a big headline at the time, which Trump denied. And again, don't forget the Nazi Werner von Braun invented the character the Elon in the book Project Mars, and Werner von Braun's wife died the same day that Musk did the salute on Inauguration Day, but they saved the news for 2 weeks later. They didn't break it the day of. And yeah, there was a few other things that were interesting here. If you didn't see my work on the White House Correspondents' Dinner and you haven't seen my work on, well, anything, and you're just stumbling across this video, there's a lot more to both of these stories and a lot more parallels here, but I just want to point out how both of these things seem to point to Elon Musk on the platform he now supposedly owns, even though I would maintain that Elon Musk is a puppet on the world stage. If you saw him at the Butler rally after the first Trump shooting hoax, again, he literally looked like a Special Olympian. He was jumping on the stage with probably about a 1 millimeter vert, which is what you see with Special Olympians. And whenever he talks, I don't know, he always sounds dumb to me. But Yeah, isn't it interesting how, just these things are dropped on the world stage for the jokes that are about to be had on humanity in the near future. And it makes me wonder what else could be out sitting on the platform right now, like the soothsayer and Henry Martinez posts. So I wanted to bring that up since Sebastian caught it. And yeah, I don't want to go over everything we just did the other day. If you're not up on this work, everything about the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting hoax and this Hantavirus outbreak by the numbers synced up with the pandemic declaration, which occurred on a very important day to the Jesuits, the day to remember their founder getting shot, like the pandemic declarations about getting shots in people's arms really fast next time around. Definitely check that out. But yeah, don't forget this boat named after Jodocus Hondius, a Dutchman, has the Jesuit order encoding 177 and 201, which were big numbers with the Cooties 19 simulation event 201 put on by Mr. Jesuit Klaus Schwab, Mr. 177. But yeah, the Dutch matter because the Dutch are credited with virology, the study of viruses, and the father of virology is also Dutch, and his name has the 201 connection. And in case you missed the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting hoax, White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting equals 201, and it happened 201 days from the leader of the Jesuits' birthday, Arturo Sosa. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. And don't forget, Hantavirus was coined in 78, and the pandemic declaration happened at the 78th World Health Assembly. But real quick, I just got to measure, actually. Let's figure out if we can figure out what 78 weeks is from May 20th. Hold on. It was May 20th, 2025. Right now, we're 50 weeks, so we got about 28 weeks. So that's about 4 months from now. So it'd be around September 1st, huh? Or wait, I just did some crazy bad math. No, it'd be deeper than that. It would be in the middle of November. Interesting date, November 17th. Wow. That is the day, leaving 44 days left in the year. Doesn't Hantavirus equal 44? Or what did I say? Maybe it's the ship. The ship is 44? The ship is 44. Remember, November 17th is a date that has a double connection to 187. 11 times 17 is 187, and the number 1117 is the 187th prime number. And it's a big deal because, again, we're talking about the Jesuits, who are the Society of Jesus 187, and they rule over this nation's capital, Washington, D.C., and it goes all the way back to George Washington and a bunch of other things. So that is interesting that November 17th, and that's when we're getting into the colder months, and it's almost winter, and usually that is when people are getting their shots and people are starting to get sick. 78 weeks after the 78th Health Assembly. And they have other things going out there too. Right now it's Hantavirus. That they got these other variety. I mean, look at all the little stories they just keep throwing at us. Ooh, new strain of cooties. This, that. But it is interesting how that Hantavirus was discovered in 78. Okay. Oh, and by the way, a correction also from the last video I did. I was about to go live, and then I was watching. If you missed last night's video, it was about the death of Joni Lamb and her husband Marcus Lamb, who founded the Daystar Network, who died in a 201 ritual. I was about to go live, and then I found this piece about how their son had recently been fired from the company for trying to expose the family for corruption. And I was looking him up, and on Wikipedia, it said that his name is Jonathan Lamb. It said Jonathan Lamb, known for his work in Christian media. I thought that had to be him, and I'm pretty sure I saw his wife's name was Susie, had died. So I don't know if that is some errant post online or if it's coincidental and there's another Jonathan Lamb who's also in Christian media, but everybody and their mom left a comment that Jonathan Lamb was not dead. So I didn't mean to put out false information. I thought that must be the same guy, but apparently not. That said, everything I said about the husband and wife who are dead, all of that was on point, and it just goes to show all you guys who watch these televangelists, You're tuned into seemingly some of the scammiest, most dishonest people in the world who are simply exploiting sheep. And yeah, anyway, apparently the sun is still alive, so didn't mean to put out false information there. And then just one other thing that needs to be addressed. I asked Johnny Cerrucci to have a debate with me, which really, like, a lot of online debates are dumb, but I think that it would be a good debate if him and I did the debate. Because again, him and I are both in the same camp, trying to get people to focus on the Jesuits who really do run the show, not the small hats like everybody's stuck on. And, you know, recently, out of the blue, he just took a shot at my work and said Gematria is a sideshow. And ever since then, I've been saying, hey, I want to have a conversation about your remarks. And he keeps ducking that. And he's had 2 debates recently. And in both of his videos, I said, hey, man, let's also debate what you said about my work. Let's see whose work really exposes more about the Jesuits and what they do to humanity by controlling the world stage. Because if you ever watch Johnny, most of his information that he's aware of is from stuff a long time ago. Almost everything he's talking about is hundreds of years ago, decades ago. About as recent as it gets is Howard Hunt, who was with the CIA, 30, 40 years ago. If you're looking at that, you're like, well, maybe they had a lot of influence in the past. He'll bring up things like how Trump went to Fordham. But yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot on current events, and all these things are happening. These major events, like Johnny doesn't have any connections to expose how the White House Correspondents' Dinner has the Jesuit fingerprints all over it. So I want to have this debate with Johnny, and I keep asking him, and he keeps ducking the question. But then what's really weird is, I just want you to see what he put out on his channel, because this is another line. I was going to show the comment I left for him on the video, but he took down the whole video, so I can't even show you my comment. But something's wrong with this guy. Something is wrong with this guy, because here's what he just said about me asking him to debate me. I mean, this is the total load of shit. Listen to him. It's just like, what is wrong with this guy? And keep in mind, this guy claims to be Christian too. And again, Johnny, you're not doing anything for me and what I think of most Christians. You're reminding me of why I don't like Christians for the most part, because you're just super dishonest. This guy has to, either he's mentally ill or he's just super dishonest. And he's some kind of plant here as well. But listen to this, because all I did was asked him to debate. And I said, don't puss out. That's what I said. It wasn't that mean.
Died out of the blue. Not out of the blue. For me, it was a shock.
Out of the blue, I ever since he left that comment that was brought to my attention about taking a shot at my work, I've just been asking him in his video. I said, hey, let's debate about it. Let's have a conversation about it. And he keeps ducking it. But here, out of the blue, he says now. It's just like, dude, you provoked this situation, and I wasn't even mean. I'm just saying, let's debate. Here's how me... Hold on. Here's how me asking him to debate how he takes it. Listen to this.
Zach Hubbard, Dr. Gematria. Zach Hubbard viciously attacking me on my YouTube channel because I took away...
Johnny, put the video back up so I can show the world the comment I left. There's no attack in there. Viciously attacking me. Oh my God. I'm just like, what in the hell? Viciously? I asked you to have a debate over you calling Gematria a sideshow. And then I left a second comment after that. I said, don't puss out. Was that the vicious attack? Don't puss out? I mean, Jesus.
Hey, Krieger's puppet show. He ran like a bitch and I told him don't come back.
Hold on. Let me just rewind this again.
Not out of the blue. For me, it was a shock. Zach Hubbard, Dr. Gematria. Zach Hubbard viciously attacking me on my YouTube channel because I took away Krieger's puppet show. He ran like a bitch and I told him don't come back.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I asked him to debate me. What the hell are you talking about? God. Oh, okay. Actually, I did leave another comment. In his debate with Dustin Nemos was trying to put a quote up on the screen, and Johnny was having just like a tantrum over him putting the comment up. And what I said to him was constructive criticism. I said, dude, just let him put the comment up because the way he's interpreting that verse makes him look crazy. And Johnny just had a fit and was like, no, take it down. It will not be up on the screen right now. Get that off the screen. Get it off the screen. You're hogging the screen. This is him, the way he's reacting. I'm like, dude, just let him put up the quote. The way you're acting right now makes it look like you're afraid of the quote. To me, it was like you're winning the debate by having him put up the Bible verse, because the way he's interpreting it is insane. But so I left that comment too. I said, Johnny, if you have the debate and he wants to put that quote up again, just let him have the debate up, because by fighting it, it almost makes it look like you're afraid of the quote or something. I left a comment just like that. Was that a vicious attack? Jesus, this guy.
And so this has been manipulated to attack me with. I didn't even fully appreciate it at the time.
And realize, I mean, I showed you guys the other week when all of a sudden he just started attacking my work for no reason. And then he made up a lie there too. He said I ghosted him, which wasn't true. I'd responded to the last email he sent me. He wanted me to do a stream at a certain time, and I said, that's just an impossible time for me. We're going to have to work something else out. And all he wrote back was, if you can ever do that time, let's do it. And I just thought, okay, well, if you can't make a different time, I mean, I pretty much just told you that time is not going to work. So yeah, either this guy, I mean, really, it could be mental illness, or it could just be that he's just completely dishonest. But let me just drop it in the bucket of, why Christians just always just give me a bad taste in my mouth. Acting holier than thou, like he does time to time when Zach's, he's not all the, he'll say things like, yeah, Zach's not all the way in on the truth. He denies the flat earth. And, he denies Jesus. Like, oh, those things are the truth. Okay, religion, not truth. Flat earth, definitely not truth. God, what are you going to do? So anyway, that guy, real piece of work. Real piece of work. And yeah, Johnny, if you're out there, please do put up the video and then show those comments on the screen that you said I viciously attacked you. Everyone can read exactly what I just said is 100% true. No vicious attack, some good criticism, because really you should have just let the guy have the quote up there. It wasn't helping him win anything. You having a tantrum about it created a perception that maybe you were afraid of the quote. Because again, I'm just imagine like, he took down the whole video where I just show you the whole scenario of what played out. It's just like, how bad is this guy at debating? And remember, Adam Green, who blames everything on small hats, debated Johnny, but refused to debate me on the same subject. And what's funny is at the end of Adam Green's things, he's always saying he's looking for more people to debate. When they did that debate, I left him a comment, and Jaronism at the time was organizing Adam Green's debates on the subject. And I said, hey, let me come on here and take a stab at it. I think I can do better than Johnny. And Adam Green said that he would not debate yours truly. So, Johnny, if you're out there, you need to think about that. Why would he debate you on the subject, but not me? I think because he knew you were an easy win. Okay. Also, about tomorrow, you guys, look out for tomorrow, 5/9. Remember, the war began on the 59th day of the year, the anniversary of the temple coin coming out, which is to it's to raise funds to build the third temple. So we'll see what they do tomorrow on 5/9, a Saturn's day, because the war did start on a Saturn's day. It'll be exactly 10 weeks since the war began, or 70 days. Was Bigfoot just spotted in Ohio? Oh boy, just what we needed. All this back and forth stuff just to manipulate markets day in and day out. All right, there's not a whole lot else going on in the news today. If anybody wants to come on and share anything buzzing or ask a question or touch up on anything else that relates to what I brought up in the stream. Maybe you're aware of some more predictive programming somewhere on X. Have there been other posts like the ones we mentioned? Hold on. Did I hear about Trump calling for American Jews to observe a national Sabbath? Well, that wouldn't be a Sunday law, right? That'd be a Saturday. So, but I guess if the Jews had a big Saturday holiday, then it might come next a Sunday law for Catholics and I suppose other Christian denominations. We're just skipping the Bigfoot. You want me to look more into that one? The problem with CNN is I pretty much just use their front page because they want you to have a membership to read anything they have out here. Here, let me see what else who's reporting on this. Bigfoot, Ohio. That's what you guys want, huh? Was Bigfoot spotted in Ohio? MSN covered this. CNN, CNN grasping. New Fox News covered this 4 days ago, huh? On May 4th. What was the old Bigfoot sitcom, Harry and the Hendersons? Probably a tribute to Harry and the Hendersons. New evidence surfaces in Northeast Ohio Bigfoot flap, including alleged tracks and unexplained howls. Investigators found 8 highly credible reports across the region starting March 6th, with activity now quieting down. All right. We're coming on 2 months since the first of what turned out to be a total of 8 high credibility Bigfoot reports across Northeast Ohio. Shortly after the Ohio Bigfoot flap had taken place, boots were on the ground to investigate. Folks with the Ohio Squatch Project had been deployed to investigate the sightings in person. You know, the Bigfoot thing starts out in Washington State, which is interesting. Apparently, the first official Bigfoot sighting was in the Yakima, Washington area. So now we're in Ohio. Investigate the sightings in person while being assisted by the Bigfoot Society that had been tracking the activity since it got underway March 6th. The activity in the area has since quieted down. The Bigfoot Society issued a final report on the matter in early April, and it looked like another set of unexplained Bigfoot sightings were bound for the pages of the history books. That was until Sunday when Fox 8 reported that it had obtained exclusive new evidence tied to the recent sightings in Northeast Ohio. They went out and met with witnesses and Mike Miller, the co-founder of Ohio Night Stalkers, Bigfoot Research Group. Just, again, the news media just every day just talking about just nothing that matters. They came back with video of alleged Bigfoot tracks, audio of unexplained howls, and a story about how the recent Bigfoot flap wasn't the first one in Ohio. The last such event took place back in 1978. Much like this recent one, 48 years ago, is said to have happened after a brutal winter. Miller theorizes that the Bigfoot could have been flooded out of their normal dwellings and forced to look for new homes, leading to their sightings. Miller also says it's possible that it could be rearing young in that area, or it's just, you're in their area and they want you to go. He has evidence of howls, and he claims don't match any known animal in North America. He added some of those screams pegged higher than a baboon on this spectrograph, and that is evidence. You can decide that for yourself. See the tracks, hear the howls, and listen to the full story told during the Fox 8 interview about the prior Ohio Bigfoot flap from 1978. Hold on. Harry and the Hendersons. It came out in 87, huh? It's not set in Ohio, is it? While returning from a trip to the woods, George Henderson and his family run into something with their car that turns out to be a Sasquatch. Thinking the creature is dead, they take him home, but Harry soon awakens. Despite their initial fears, Harry is kind and sensitive being, and the Hendersons become very fond of him. However, it is difficult to keep him a secret, and soon they begin to fear for Harry's safety. All right, so that came out June 5th, 87. Let me see. When was the first official Bigfoot sighting? 1958. Wait, this is California. Hey, how come there's things in Yakima saying the first official Bigfoot sighting is there? Okay, we got some discrepancies here on where the first official Bigfoot sighting is. History traces it back to 58 as well. So this year's 68. All right, but then yeah, there's earlier dates too. Okay. What's Bigfoot equal? I've never done a decode on Bigfoot. Interesting numbers. Bigfoot there. Okay. Bigfoot. Let's see. Is this Bigfoot news by the numbers? March 6th to May 4th. Something I actually do, as I talk about this, something I do want to talk about is why they're having Tupac Shakur bobblehead night at the A's and Orioles game tonight. Tupac's got connections to Baltimore and Oakland. But yeah, it's a perfect number ritual with what they're doing tonight in tribute to his birth and his death. March 6th, 65th day of the year. Did it say where they were? I guess we have two words for a Bigfoot. We also have a Sasquatch. Bigfoot Society. I wonder who goes to the Bigfoot Society meetings. Here, let's throw in all of our words here that they're using. Sasquatch, Northeast Ohio. They keep well, okay, so the Northeast Ohio thing is actually interesting because it's 68 years from 1958. And History Channel, it seems like a lot of these things make it seem like 58 is when the Bigfoot thing really took off. So 68 years later in Northeast Ohio. All right. I wonder if there is something about 65, because isn't it interesting how Harry and the Hendersons came out on 6/5 and March 6th, the day this story begins, is 65? This is a popular show when I was growing up. Harry and the Hendersons. Harry has the gematria 65. Okay, maybe this is part of the joke, huh? Sasquatches are hairy, Bigfoot's hairy. So the first, all right, yeah, because something's going on here, right? Harry and the Hendersons comes out on June 5th, and this year's story heats up on the 65th day of the year. Oh, wait, what's this say? Plot. Following a camping trip in the nearby Cascade Mountains, George Henderson drives home to the Wallingford neighborhood in Seattle. Funny. When he hits a Bigfoot. Let me see this thing about Yakima, because in Yakima, they have something talking about how Bigfoot started in Yakima. Bigfoot, Yakima, Washington. What, everybody has their own origin story for Bigfoot? Significant hub in Sasquatch lore, primarily because it was the home of Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin, who shot the famous 1967 Bigfoot film. Oh. What did I just see about, what was it, Northeast Ohio? Is that where I just saw 67? Hold on. Where were the March 6th Bigfoot prints found in Northeast Ohio? Portage County, around Montua Center and Headwaters Trail, between Akron and Youngstown. Portage County. Okay. Headwaters Trail has the 65. All right. So Headwaters Trail, one of the specifically around Mantua Center and Headwaters Trail. So Headwaters Trail has the 65, 65th day of the year. Harry's 65. Oh, so they had sightings on March 6th, and then they had sightings on March 9th, the 68th day of the year, like it's 68 years after 1958 in Northeast Ohio, 68. What did I just see again? May 14th, the 134th day of the year is upcoming. But yeah, I don't know. It probably is just another news by the numbers. The last thing people really need to be thinking about. President. It's just it's just amazing the day and age we live in. All the things we're being threatened with. And then they got Bigfoot as a top headline. Oh man. This is the idiocracy. But yeah, Bigfoot is not something I've looked into in the past. I'm sure if I knew more about the Bigfoot lore and the big dates, there'd probably be some other things that stand out here. But I am thinking, the one thing I do think of is Harry and the Hendersons, because that was a big show growing up. Wait a minute. What else did I just see there? Bigfoot's 34 like Harry. Did I see something else? Wait a minute. Hold on. Harry's 29. Ohio's got the 29 as well. Okay. All right, that's about enough of Bigfoot. Well, let's get to GAD, Gematria 32, and Justin. What's up, GAD?
Hey, Zach, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, I was just saying something about
Actually,
Bigfoot.
it is a little bit broken up. It is a little bit.
Yeah, that's okay. That's my. One second.
Mitch Hedberg. I see the Mitch Hedberg reference. R.I.P. Mitch Hedberg. That guy was funny. All the good comedians die young.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. I was gonna say with the whole Bigfoot shit, because I have looked into the cryptozoology aspect. When it comes to like Sasquatch, I think Sasquatch means hairy man or something like that.
Okay.
It's funny that you mentioned Harry and Henderson. Supposed to be like a creature that's man-like, you know.
Right.
And I would say this, like many people out right, like that have been up here in the Northwest that have been out to the national parks.
GAD, just so you know,
even
the audio quality.
somebody down south.
GAD, it is still a little bit off. It's got like a
Oh, it is?
scratchiness to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll call one second.
All right. Well, we'll take you when you come back. We'll get Gematria 32 in here, and then Rich. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Oh, and I forgot to turn off the echo's bad too, because I forgot to do the set.
Can you hear me?
All right, that was my bad. The echo should be gone. Go ahead, Gematria 32.
Yeah, I'm getting the first documented sighting of Bigfoot was in 1904 in Oregon around the Sixes River area.
Okay. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of different Bigfoot origin stories. History.com is going with 1958, which is again probably when the folklore really got going. By the way, from 58 to 87, when Harry came out, right? That would have been 29 years too. Harry 29,
Okay.
Ohio 29. So I think 58 is the year they like.
Yeah, I got a murder by numbers. This kid Jake Hall, he was in some show the only way is SX or whatever. He was an actor on the show, and they
Okay.
reported that he died yesterday on May 7th. And the anniversary of
37.
the anniversary of the show, when it first premiered was
He
October
died
8th.
at 35 on a Thursday.
Yeah. Also,
How many times
and
we talked about 35 Thursday, you guys? 35.
I was gonna put that down, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to keep it simple. You know, I knew you was gonna catch it, but yeah, the first time the show aired was October 8th, 2014. So that would be 154 days to the anniversary to the show, like ritual sacrifice. You follow?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 154 days to the anniversary of the show, October 8th. Ritual sacrifice 154. So another coincidence alert, another pattern that we always document, you know?
You're saying the October 10th date, is that what you measured to?
October 8th.
Oh, it was October 8th. Okay, just a quick Google.
October 8th, 2014. So the upcoming anniversary will be 154 days, right? I guess. Yeah.
Let me see.
If anybody want to correct my
Maybe
math.
that was the pilot episode. Let's see. I'm seeing. Oh, because it was released on different networks. The first season ever came out October 10th, 2010.
October 8th, I got. But
that's another season. Because on that network, I see it came out on a certain TV network October 10th, 2010. Then 4 years later, it came out October 8th, 2014 on another network.
Okay. But there was something else I wanted you to the what is it, the Pentagon, and it was all over today. Like they released some UFO files, and I'm like, okay, more disclosure, getting close to disclosure day,
release date.
Yeah, just a whole bunch. They released some videos of
thin line between Hollywood and what's in the news.
Flying saucers, spaceships and stuff. They released some footage, but what was interesting, I found it because I think I seen a 42 connection. I think UFO files have 42 equal 42, and today has those prime factors, right? 237, 237 days left remaining. Prime factors of 42.
Yeah, big UFO number 42.
Yeah, but it's just propaganda, as always.
And I think yesterday Fox News had a story about the Nazis' 1944 experimental UFO. That was in the news yesterday too.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I want to hear what you're gonna say about this Tupac bobblehead 128 thing.
Well, you already know. You were on Patreon when I talked about it earlier today. You already heard it.
Yeah, but I couldn't believe it was like Maryland 128, Maryland. You know. I'll let you get to it. Thanks a lot, Zach.
Yeah.
All right.
Get the other callers in here, and then I'll remember to get to the Tupac bobblehead. What's up, Rich?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got some stuff. Well, I got a question actually. What do you think they're gonna do with this Hantavirus thing? What do you think? You think it's gonna be another pandemic? What do you think?
Well, if it's not Hantavirus, it'll be whatever else they want to say it is. But it's possible the way how it's perfectly coordinated with that pandemic declaration. I mean, it's perfectly coordinated. So
yeah, and then like the whole COVID thing was in the time of the
November 17th, right?
Yeah, 70. He said it's 78 months, 78 weeks.
78 weeks from the 78th Health Assembly. So
yeah, I got some curious dates that I've been watching out for this whole Hantavirus thing. One date would be May 12th. It's internet. I don't know if you knew this, but it's International Nurses Day.
That was just the other day.
May 12th.
It just happened today. International Nurses Day. It was just the other day.
No, it says May 12th is International Nurses Day.
Maybe it was National Nurses Day or something.
Maybe.
Because we were talking about when Nick Nurse was in the news.
Yeah, his brother
just died.
Yeah.
As he comes back on Boston. But yeah, there was just some nurses holiday the other day. It was just pointed out in our community. Oh, yeah. It's National Nurses Day is May 6th.
Yeah, because on Google it says International Nurses Day.
International is May 12th, National is May 6th. Okay.
Yeah. The reason why I'm bringing that up is because like the name of the boat equals 125.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
There might be some to the World Cup. I know it's coming up next month because the first Hantavirus, hold on, let me pull this up here.
They said the Super Bowl in 2020 spread cooties.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
Remember the Chiefs won that one. Just like how they wiped out the Chiefs, if you will, with smallpox.
Yeah, no, and another day I wanted to bring up is because if you look it up, there was a 1993 Four Corners Hantavirus outbreak, and it happened. It was identified on May 14th, 1993. So it'll be 33 years from May 14th this
On
year.
Israel's birthday, huh?
Yeah, the 134th day of the year. I know you were just talking about that. What else? Oh, the World Cup thing. I want to talk about that because the CDC, they officially announced that it previously unrecognized hantavirus was the cause of a mysterious and deadly respiratory outbreak in the Four Corners region of the southwestern United States. And this was on June 11th, 1993. I know the World Cup's going to be played on the 33rd anniversary of that. And I did some digging, and I seen Group A.
Does the World Cup start on June 11th? I know it ends July 19th.
Yeah, it starts on June 11th. And what's curious about that is Group A, the matches, how it's set up. It's going to be Mexico versus South Africa, and then later on that day, it's going to be South Korea playing.
Okay.
And I know that was a theme with the Hantavirus thing too.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I had. Those are just a couple of observations I had just to.
They say the ship is going to the Canary Islands. Reminds me of a canary in the coal mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you mentioned that post from 2022, right? The soothsayer. That was 175 days after Pope Francis's birthday. That tweet was made. Pope Francis 175.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's all I had. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Let's get Justin in here. What's up, Justin?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
I just had a couple questions. Like, I don't really have anything to add. If that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the first one would be like, so for like the people who play the parts for like the world stage or whatever, like let's use like Elvis as an example. Do you think that like Elvis, like he knew he kind of like he knew everything about like the cabal and like about the rituals that they're planning, even like his death? Like, do you think that they have knowledge of what goes on, or you think they're kind of just like useful idiots or something?
I think more along the lines of useful idiots that have a talent and serve a purpose. I mean, what's the point of telling them everything?
Right. No, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. Also, like with, I guess, do you think like at some point, because like Elvis was like, I don't know, I feel like Elvis is always gonna be Elvis, right? Like I think you're born into a life and then you kind of have to play out a part in a sense. So do you think that he had like a choice, like, oh, I have to be a part of this, and like it might not be as straightforward as like as oh you have to sign your name in the book of blood, but it's like if you keep going along with it, if you keep like it's like you keep feeding that beast or whatever, eventually it's like the cabal has enough control over you where they can like take you out if they even kill people or if that's like even real. But I don't know, like what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on it, if they're made to sign their lives away to become famous on the world stage, is that the question?
It's like I'm just asking you if it's more complicated than just like signing your shit. Sorry, I almost hit somebody in the road.
Be careful! I heard that horn. Woo! Watch out! While he's driving and hopefully not crashing, I would encourage everybody to listen to David Bowie's song "Rock and Roll Suicide." I think there's a lot of clues out there in the world of entertainment, including that song. Because David Bowie's talking about how these people are made to make choices that they're just too young to make. And then you think about, the title of that song and how many of these entertainers die at pretty young ages. So I imagine, a lot of these people become famous in late teens, early 20s, especially in the music scene. Imagine, being your 18, 19, 20-year-old self and some gray-haired studio executives come to you and have you do some goofy rituals to you that seems dumb, but you're like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna get $1 million, $10 million, and all the fame and all the girls or whatever." I mean, I think the average person would just go along and not even realize what they did or how serious it was. Like, I kinda think that's what's going on.
Right. And that's like where I was kind of thinking like maybe that's how you sell your soul. It's not as straightforward as like,
You might not
signing
even
your name
realize or you
somewhere.
might even not even thought it was serious. It just like in the
Right.
have you watched him?
Yeah, I've actually seen that movie.
Because I mean, even when they're having him do all that stuff at the end, it's like they really clued him in. They're just like, sign your name in the book, sign it in blood. They're not really telling him anything. Just that if he does that, then he's going to be the next GOAT in the football league, playing for the Saints.
Right.
And by the way, if you guys missed my work on him, they literally released that movie on the patron saint feast day for the patron saint of blood. And if you watch the movie, it's very much about blood and injecting other people's blood. So, yeah, a lot of weird stuff. And think about that. He doesn't even get the choice. Just the guy who he's going to replace just starts doing it to him. He's like, this is what we do. He's
Right.
around the legend, and he's like, okay, that's what we do. Okay, he's just getting brought into it. He's getting groomed.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of a scary thought because it's just like if that's the case, it's like if you had never had a choice, it's like how much autonomy do you have in your life for free will, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you are putting that, well, at the end, he exercises a choice. He decides not to sign his name in the book of blood, and instead he gets vengeance. So, no, you'd still have a choice. I mean, if some guy, I guess that's the thing about being impressionable. He's a young person, and here's this guy who's at the end of his NFL career who's won 8 championships. He's like, listen, man, I'm going to inject my blood into you. This is what you need. I mean, some people might go along with it, like, oh, okay. But I'd be like, wait, what? Hold on. There must be other ways to go about this. You always have a choice.
Yeah, no, I like to think so. It's like like I feel like because I'm a musician, so it's like I like and appreciate good music, and like I use Elvis as an example because it's like a very iconic voice with the vocals and stuff. It's just like
imagine Elvis is grooming you and he's singing to you, "It's now or never," and you got to sign your name in the book of blood. I mean, that might seduce you. All right, it's now or never.
right, yeah. Yeah, but I think that's probably all the questions I have. Oh, one quick question: do you think that Sasquatch is real? Since like it's kind of part of the stream.
I guess anything's possible, but to me, it just seems ridiculous that that's front page news right now with everything going on in the world. Everything's a joke, you guys. I mean, it just reminds me. It reminds me of after 9/11. Every day they were all focused on terrorism and how we could blow up, and they'd give us color alerts. You sound younger, so you probably don't remember any of this, or you might not even been alive. But the news every day was, today's an orange day. Be careful, it's an orange day. There could be a terrorist on your corner. It's a red day. You might want to stay inside today. And then this just went on for months. And then all of a sudden, the whole news would be, instead of covering the color alerts, missing blonde girl. I was like, what? What? Every day, every news network just talking about a missing blonde girl? For the last 3 months, you're supposed to be looking out for terrorists everywhere. But today, we're just worried about a blonde girl. Okay. That's why I don't know what's wrong with everybody. I don't know how they don't see through all this bullshit.
I mean, honestly, if I'm being completely vulnerable or whatever, I actually do believe in that stuff. I think it's something that we can't really fully comprehend yet. Like I think Sasquatch, for example, is like more along the lines of like a spiritual being. So it's like even like the Native American myths, like all of them pretty much talk about like little people and Sasquatch and stuff, but they pretty much just say that they're spiritual beings, and it's like almost like just changing radio frequencies. Like what we see is spiritual. It's like they're able to change theirs more easily. So it's like you're able to see the physical like when they're here, but it's like they're able to leave. But it's a whole nother can of worms.
It's possible. It's possible. Anything is possible. I don't think anyone should close their mind off to anything entirely.
For sure. But I think that's all I had. Sorry, I didn't mean to take so much time.
That's okay. All right, man. Good luck with the music career.
Oh, appreciate it.
All right, take care. We got Gematria32 back. What's up?
Yeah. Did you know that Otis Blackwell, Elvis stole Otis Blackwell's cadence his songs and everything, and then he started writing for him?
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
It came out later on, and they even had him on like some interview. It was saying, but he performed. They didn't let him perform or anything, but he performed like after Elvis died. But I swear to God, anybody could look to Otis Blackwell. He stole his cadence, everything. So it's like Elvis fucking fraud, bro. Like he's just.
I'm sure it's true for a lot of musicians that
Of
there was
course,
somebody out there that was the top talent, but he wasn't the chosen one, not the right bloodline or whatever it's got to be. So instead they're like, listen, watch him, mimic him. That's how you do it.
It also came out. They started paying him $25 for a song. He said Otis Blackwell or whatever, and he was like, hey, after Elvis sold 4 million copies, I was like, fuck it, I guess he started paying him, and anyway, but that same thing happened with Biggie Smalls. He stole Juicy, the whole song, cadence and everything. It's on YouTube, everything. He stole that whole song and probably more other songs too. But
who did the Juicy song originally?
I forgot the guy's name, but it was a guy from down south. You could look it up, Juicy original song, and it show you like the whole thing, the cadence, the words, the lyrics, everything.
Well, just like Eminem and Cage. Eminem,
I think
even puts the lyrics on his song that he says. I forget what he said he did to the Cage person, but yeah,
I came across that one too. Yeah. So it's just like but it's just part for the cause. 2026 chaos 26. So
exactly. This year is ripe for some major things to happen as we move further into it.
Yeah, I'll let you get some other calls. I think, Zach.
All right, appreciate it. This thing about Tupac bobblehead night, you guys. I just want you to see how they do this. So you have Baltimore and Oakland playing each other. So people know Tupac. He lived part of his life in Baltimore. He moved out to the West Coast. He started in Oakland. It's where he kind of branded himself as the West Coast gangster rapper. That he was sort of. Tupac was like a bipolar rapper. It's Dear Mama one day, and here we are right before Mother's Day too. And then it's Hit 'Em Up the next day. I mean, and Tupac was an actor, and he grew up in a wealthy neighborhood, and another studio gangster at the end of the day. And some people even say he might have been gay, which would be extra interesting. But anyway, look how they do this, you guys. Today's 5/8, right? The game's in Baltimore. And versus the A's, who are last in Oakland, who are en route to Vegas. But notice how Oakland's 58, Baltimore's 58, Tupac Amaru Shakur, 58. Don't forget how they killed his associate from the Outlaws on the 4th of July. And, God, it was synced up with the person that his middle name comes from. I have to go back and look at that. I forgot how all that went. But, okay, so that's the starting point, right? And then they're doing this in Maryland. And did you see how today's May 8th, the 128th day of the year? 128 is the 96th composite number, like Tupac died in 96. Do you want to guess how many days it is from the anniversary of Tupac's death? Look at this, you guys. May 8th, 2026 to September 13th, that's the day he died, is 128 days. So on the 128th day of the year, 128 days before the death anniversary. 96 composite, again, dead in 96. And his birthday is June 16th. That's 39 days from today. Today also has a lesser date numerology of 39. 5 plus 8, May 8th plus 26, 39. And the Orioles are giving out the Tupac bobbleheads. And notice Orioles has the 96 in their name as well. And I'm sure you remember the bridge claps ritual the other year in Baltimore, Maryland at 1:28 a.m., 128 days from Francis Scott Key's birthday anniversary, because it was the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Anyway, yeah, it's just a reminder. I mean, having this knowledge, there's a million things happening all over the world each day, orchestrated by the cabal, and some of them are as trivial as Tupac bobblehead night. But you just see this is how they're doing it, and it's also how they put the sports game schedules together, because you'll see these synchronicities all the time with the games, and then you'll see the final scores, and you'll be like, "Holy shit! Look how they paid tribute to exactly what we were talking about." We have these kind of discussions every day on Patreon where we go over sports, and we're like, "Well, there it is. It ended up in the score again." So. Anyway, My daughter went down for a late nap today. I got her on the camera over here. She's still sleeping, but I know she's going to wake up pretty soon because she's pretty consistently waking up right around the 2-hour mark. And she's probably been sleeping for about an hour and 45 minutes. So if you guys want to get in here and share something in the stream or ask a question, now is the time because she could be waking up anytime between now and the next 15 minutes. Shout out to Sinister. Thanks for linking the Patreon. Again, an easy way to find my Patreon is just search Patreon Zachary K. Hubbard. You'll find it. All right, let's see. Let me see. Or hold on, we got somebody else in here real quick. What's up, Richard?
Yo, let me ask something real quick. I know that I said that that tweet was made 175 days after the Pope's birthday, Pope Francis. That's actually the 134th composite number, and FIFA World Cup equals 134.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
We're gonna add that in there.
And
May
we've
14th.
been talking about Spain in this World Cup, and that ship is headed to the Canary Islands, which is Spain. So
Yeah. I just figured I'd add that in there real quick. And I know May 14th is the 134th day of the year.
okay.
Yeah, that's all I had to add. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Yep.
Here, let's see what they got buzzing in the headlines. I'm going to close some of these windows. Oh my God! Again, needs to stop. Stop. I forgot to look into this latest UFO thing. All right, hold on. Iran warns U.S. of new quagmire, denounces reckless military adventure. Trump called it a love tap. What a stupid time we live in. Just what a joke everything is. Yeah. Firing missiles at people is just a love tap. This whole thing just seems to be so 1984. We are what's the name of the nation in 1984? Oceania. The nation always knows it's at war. It just doesn't know why it's at war, but it's always at war. You gotta believe what the screens tell you. All right. Reckless military adventure. So from BBC to Al Jazeera, they're using the same terminology. Oh shit, my daughter's up. I'll be right back. Don't worry, I'm not gonna turn it on. All right. Let me switch around the audio settings here because I don't want to put on my headphones right now. All right. That's better. All right, Spam Wave, since we did a stream in honor to your findings, you get to close us out. Try to make it efficient because I got to get this one.
All right. Hey, Ruby.
Ruby,
She's
that's
so cute.
Sebastian.
Hi, Ruby. She's so cute. Hi. She's so cute. I had found some pretty interesting stuff. So the symbol that peace symbol that said turn peace up, I found that symbol is actually called crow's foot, and it's also called Nero's cross. Both are 46. And also Richard just added that 134. Crow's foot is also 134. Also, it's also 44 and 46, 109, all like military and war. It's associated with war. The symbol. And also they also showed it also said the Eye of Horus, not the Eye of Ra, the Eye of Horus specifically. And I thought that was a pretty interesting one because so the Eye of Ra represents the sun. It's the eye of it's the eye of the sun god. And the Eye of Horus represents the moon. And so this kind of to me reminds me of like duality, where it's like 2023 coronavirus ends, and then 2026 Hantavirus, and then it's when Corona is crowned, and Corona is what's on the sun, and you have so this kind of seems like they want to do like maybe a second pandemic, and this is like this is going to be the lunar pandemic with lunar symbolism. So Eye of Horus equals 56, just like coronavirus. It's also 137, the 33rd prime, just like Corona 33. Yeah, it also says it's also 43, like Star of Venus, which is also and 137, which is also on there on their banner. Also cruise ships is 56 and 70, just like coronavirus, and we remember how they brought that up back during 2020. Also Hantavirus is 133 and 137 and 43, just like Eye of Horus. So 3 out of 4 cipher match with Eye of Horus. So it seems like those are going to be the numbers that they're going to stamp on this. I think that we're going to be seeing like a lot of 137, 56, and 43 and 133. It seems like they're gonna code this around this like lunar symbolism. And it's also interesting how it's tying in with the COVID 56 again. They're bringing back up the 56. We haven't had a lot of 56 rituals recently, so yeah, it seems like they're bringing them back in full swing.
Did you look up when the lunar eclipses are in the near future?
Let's see. Haven't seen that yet. Next lunar eclipse, deep partial lunar eclipse occurring on August 27th and 28th this year. Timing: the eclipse begins at 10:33 p.m. What did I say? 1:33. On August 28th, with maximum eclipse at 12:12 EDT. The event concludes at 1:51 EDT.
Interesting. Yeah, because in the stream I did the other day, I saw something interesting about August 20th, which isn't too far from August 28th. So
yeah.
Okay.
And then it says that the subsequent total lunar eclipse will not occur until December 31st, 2028. So in the one after that. And let's see how many days. Let's look at August 27th. Let's look at the date numerology of that date. $239th day of the year, 126 days left in the year. Nothing's standing out to me. Oh, actually, you know what? It's 27. Like it has a 27 date numerology like Venus, and they did mention a Star of Venus, and also the Eye of Horus is also the earliest mentions of it. It was associated with Venus in the earliest Egyptian texts.
Okay, interesting.
So in Venus is 27, 54, 18, and 81. That's actually interesting because they said that it was when did it was gonna end? 81. Where was it? Where did I see 81? Yeah, I think that's about all I have for now. But yeah, I'll look into this later. I'll do some more research into it because I was sick, so I didn't have as much time to look into it. But yeah.
Did you say you were
thanks.
sick?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got I got like a stomach.
Land.
Yeah, I got like a stomach thing.
Uh-oh. Eating bad food?
No, I got a virus, and then it's like it was really weird. Like it didn't really have very bad symptoms, but it gave me really bad muscle tension in my back, and it was so bad that like it crushed my vagus nerve, and it was making me like throw up, and I felt like super anxious, and I thought that it was like an emotional thing, and I was having like an anxiety attack. But I hit it with a massager, and then the nausea went away, and it was just like really, really bad muscle tension, like crushing my nerves, and like it makes your body, it puts your body in like fight or flight if you have muscle tension for too long, and it can cause like nausea, and the virus can sometimes cause muscle tension. I don't know if they like release something or whatever, but yeah, it was kind of a weird sickness. I didn't really have any symptoms other than that.
I see.
But I'm feeling better today, and I'm finally able to get back on the computer.
All right. Well, stay healthy, buddy. Appreciate the great research. Well done.
All right. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I've using a lot of creating a lot of new stuff with AI. I'm creating like new software and stuff too. I'm hoping to create a thing that like I want to train it off of your books and like your method, that like you could just give it a news story and then it'll just like decode it, and then I think that it'll like, because of its context window and like the amount of information that it can look at the same time, it can just AI can process like an amount of information that like you or me could never like just look at like so much information at the same time, like I've had it be able to like process like it can like a 1 million context window to put it into perspective, which some of these models have. That's the entire Harry Potter book series, which is this much paper. So it's that much paper it can fit into just its temporary memory, and it can process all of that and like understand all of that at the same time. So it's letting me do like some pretty crazy stuff now. Like I finally don't feel limited by like today's technology anymore. Like for decades, like for my whole life, I always felt like limited in what I could build, and now I don't. So I'm pretty excited with what I can do, because I'm finally getting some free time for that stuff. So you'll definitely be seeing some stuff, and if you'd like to talk afterward about that stuff, I could help you out with some of your stuff that you want to do, and like reducing your workload, and making better content and whatever. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about the future of both of our channels for sure.
All right, buddy. I look forward to it.
All right.
Lead the way. Lead the way.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for sharing the research.
All right. Have a good weekend.
All right. You too. Bye, Ruby. Have a good weekend, Ruby.
Sebastian. She hasn't learned how to. She knows how to say bye, but not hi yet. I don't know why
she knows how to read really young. I didn't learn how to read until I was.
Well, she doesn't know. She's not reading, but she knows the pictures and what comes next.
That was I didn't learn to read at all until I was 6. Like I couldn't. I mean, I was autistic, so I mean that's part of it too. But I learned to speed read later. But yeah, I didn't learn to read for a really long time. Like I didn't even learn any letters until I was 6. She's learning fast, and she's talking fast too. I didn't talk until I was like, I think like 3. Almost 3. All right, bye, Ruby.
Everybody goes at their own speed. All right, smart guy. Well, you got advanced.
And by the time she's 6, she's gonna be doing the decodes for you. She's gonna be on the computer.
We'll see. Time will tell. Not if
at this progress rate.
Say on it.
at this
right.
progress rate. All right.
All
See
right.
ya.
All right. Take care, buddy. See you. Yeah, I need to. I'm starting to smell something that I didn't smell about 30 seconds ago. So I think we need to go change something. I think we need to go change something, sleepy girl. All right, you guys. Thanks again to everyone who hits the like and the share. And you okay? What's up? Let's go get some food and change. All right, you guys. Have a good rest of your day. And we'll be back when the time is appropriate. Sweet girl needs a few things. Till next time, everybody. Take care.